Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled Daf Yomi Yevamot Amid Aleph. The Gemara introduces the concept of Pagum. So it could be an example of Pagum L'kehuna, where one is not fit to marry a Kohen. For example, a guy has a relationship with a Jewish woman, so the child is not a mamzer, even though some shitot hold that way, but we hold not, that the child is not a mamzer, but he's Pagum L'kehuna. It's not really proper for Kohen to marry this young lady. The Gemara introduces other concepts. The Shulchan Aruch brings down other concepts of Pagum, where it's not Pagum only for Kahuna, but Pagum for anyone. An example, there's a very, very common example, is a Bat Nidah, a woman that comes from the union of a man and a Nidah. So the woman, of course, is not a mamzer. We paskin that does not. It's the one arayos that does not create mamzer. But the Shulchan Aruch writes she's pagum, a person should not marry her. So what does this mean? This is a very, very common case. Any balat tshuva, the assumption is she's a Bat Nidah. That's something that should be avoided. So Rav Moshe Feinstein discusses this very question. What do we say about a Bat Nidah today? So first he analyzes the halach, and he says it's not a technical din of iser. Pagum is not a device. It's not a technical iser drabanan, but it's more of something which one should stay away from. And if we do know that for sure she's a Bat Nidah, then Rav Moshe says that's what the Shulchan Aruch is saying. She's a pagum. However, Moshe is a very creative heter here. He says, but maybe this is a suffix Bat Nidah. How could it be the couple, the family, the parents were not Shomer Torah mitzvot? How could she not be a Nidah? Once a woman is a Nidah, she's a Nidah for life. Maybe yes from Shana, unless she went to the mikveh. So how could we assume maybe she went to the mikveh? She wasn't from Shomer Torah mitzvos. So it's true in certain Masorati communities, women are very careful about the mikveh, even if they're Mechalel Shabbos. But let's say it's just not the case here. So Moshe will say a very creative idea. That it's quite possible that she went to the mikveh without realizing it. Maybe she was in the ocean, maybe she was in a lake. But she had clothing on? Yeah, the rice of most clothing is not a problem of chatzitza. And therefore, it would be all right. She didn't have kavana for mikveh? You're right. Many posts can hold it. You don't need kavana either. So Moshe has a lot of heterim here. Maybe she went to the mikveh, to something which was considered a mikveh. It was our kavana, it's all right. Chatzitza is not a problem. Moshe says, and since over here the Gemara mentions that a Bat Nidah has certain characteristic traits, and this young woman does not have any of those traits. She's a fine, wonderful young woman, Yerushalayim, Bas Yisrael, Tsanua. So that also seems to indicate that she's not a Bat Nidah, because the Gemara says that a Bat Nidah has certain traits. So Moshe, based on all these factors together, that suffix Bat Nidah, because maybe the mom was in the mikvah unintentionally, and even without kavana, and even with her clothing on, and the fact that the woman is showing signs of tzniut and the Bat Yisrael, with all those factors combined, Rav Moshe permits the union. Fascinating chiddush. Shalom.